Hi everyone, it is Saturday morning, well Saturday around 11 o'clock-ish. I've got some friends coming out today, so I'm just sort of getting the house ready. We've got a little guest house that people stay in when they come over, and just getting that ready for them now. I've got to put the hot water on, the fridge on, stuff like that. Obviously I don't run all that when people are not staying. So they come out this evening, so I'm going to pick them up from the airport. We're probably going to stop by and grab a little bite to eat somewhere on the way back to save Sophie cooking, because I don't cook. Well, I do, I only pot noodles. I'm really good. I can boil the kettle properly and it's brilliant. You should try one. Moving along. Basically, it's been a beautiful day today, as you can see from the sky. A little bit of cloud forming, but it's not much, to be fair. It's going to be a lovely sunny day. We're hitting temperatures now of about 35-ish quite regularly, so it is going to be a hot summer. I do believe this year we're going to get up to the 46, 47 mark, which is not nice. Let's just leave it like that. It's not nice. I'd swap that for a rainy day in England any day of the week. I really would. I'm squinting a little bit because obviously the sun's in my eyes, but bear with me. So yeah, our friends are coming out. My friend and his daughter, they're staying in the little guest house. So they arrive tonight. They're here for about 4 or 5 days. I will try and get a little video done with him on it. He's an interesting character. Used to be a DJ many years ago and had an interesting life, I'll be honest. So I'm going to go and pick him up from the airport. I had an interesting comment yesterday on a video. I posted up a video of the Mercedes C63 starting. If you haven't seen it, it's a couple of videos ago. It's only about 35 seconds long. It's just like a cold start to give you the noise that the thing makes. Amazing cars, and this is why I've bought this as a collector's car, because I don't think they'll make cars like this ever again. So it's just a little thing that sits about. While we're on the subject, before I get on to that message that I received, Carter asked me on Thursday to pick him up in the Mercedes, and I hardly ever drive the thing. I mean, it probably does less than 10 kilometres a week, if that, and probably every other week, sort of 15 kilometres every other week. Anyway, I've decided to pick him up from school in this car. Sorry about the little bit of a wobble. I'm holding it with my left arm, and my arm's still not completely rectified from all the therapy and stuff that I'm having done on it. So I drove to the school, picked him up. We got in the car. It was about 34 degrees. Now the car's black. Black cars in heavy hot sun doesn't really work. Anyway, went to start the car up and it was dead. Dead as a donut. Absolutely nothing. I thought, oh, here we go. So I'll give it a minute, turned it all off, turned the aircon off, turned the radio off, turned everything off. Sorry, I've got my eyes closed a little bit. It is actually really bright. I should really turn around, but there you go. Nothing. So I phoned up my friend who's a police officer. He came with the squad car and they had a recovery thing on it. He tried to jump me. It was absolutely nothing. Didn't jump start the car at all. That was that. So in the end, he phoned Mercedes for me. Now, one thing I didn't know, with Mercedes, if you maintain your car with a full service history and you maintain it at a Mercedes main dealer, if you get a breakdown anywhere in Spain, they'll send a recovery truck out free of charge to tow you back, which is what they've done. So within 20 minutes, half an hour, I had a recovery truck out, which was great. The only problem is my car's very low. It's got low carbon fibre spoilers at the bottom and things like that, and lips and diffusers and all that sort of stuff. So getting it on the truck was quite difficult, and unfortunately it did scrape along the front lip, because I was parked against some bollards, so we couldn't go forward, so I had to take it backwards, if that makes sense, drag it onto the tow truck from the rear. It's scraped along. It is only underneath it, and I'm trying not to let it bother me, but this is the problem with having low cars. When you come to get them recovered, they can be a bit of a nightmare, which it proved to be. Anyway, on the back of the truck, when we got to the Mercedes garage, because myself and Carter went with the tow truck driver, and then Mercedes drove me home. They're amazing service out here, it really is. I mean, you probably pay for it in the long run. They had the same problem getting the car off of the truck. They had to lower the pressure on the tyres on the recovery truck, and had to have lumps of wood and bits and bobs. I will stick a quick picture of it up if I can work out how to edit it at the end of this video. So we had a bit of a disaster getting it off of the truck as well. It took about 45 minutes. Anyway, Mercedes run me home. I got a call yesterday saying we've found the problem. It was a battery. The battery's just absolutely finished. It's 14 years old. They checked the serial number on the battery. It's 14 years old, so I had to replace it. Now the battery come to €357, which I thought was quite bloody dear. I mean, I'm a little bit out of touch with it maybe. I thought they were only like 140, 150 quid. Well, that's £300 in English money. Maybe I'm wrong. As I say, it's 14 years old, so I guess the battery, and obviously where I'm not driving it much, it's not getting charged an awful lot. Anyway, I've done a video a couple of days ago, and a guy posted a comment on my video, and I'll find it for you now. It was let's have a quick look, see if we can find it. I'm sure it's here somewhere. It's where is it? I had it there just a second ago, and it seems to have gone. There it is. Right. It was a guy. It was posted from a guy. Right, it's actually a coded name. I remember the days buying spec houses for 15 to 25,000. I agreed to buy a 3-bedroom property for 23,000, and for some reason the deal fell out of bed, and I then bought an AMG C43 for £50,000. Anyway, some years later, the property was worth 275,000 and the car was worth 8,000. So that brings me on to a quick little topic of buying assets versus liabilities. I'm going to hold this with my other arm as well, because obviously it'll keep it a little bit steadier. Buying assets versus liabilities. It's nice to buy liabilities because they're the fun stuff in life. Buying assets is not particularly fun. If you're going to buy a house to rent out, although you see the money every month, it's not particularly fun, is it? There's no fun in, you know, you rent the property out, and to be fair, the way the system works now in the UK, it's not very fun at all. The property market is changing rapidly, and I believe that most landlords are going to be exiting over the next 5 years. I think there was a survey done recently on landlords, and 33% said they're going to be exiting the market in the next 5 years, which I probably will as well, to be fair, because the way it's going at the moment, it's actually going to end up costing a fortune to rent a property, and it's also going to, you know, for the tenant I'm talking about, and also it's just going to become more and more difficult. So it's probably going to be an exit for me as well out of the property market in the UK. But that aside, if you buy, I just wanted to explain really the difference between an asset and a liability. If you buy a car, that's a liability, unless it's a collector's car that will eventually go up in value. But a lot of the time they don't. And that you've got the maintenance cost, of course, while you've got the car. So let's just say buying, I've got a Peugeot for my day-to-day life. When I originally bought the car, it was originally €43,000, but because it was pre-registered and done 40 kilometres, which is about 25, 30 miles, they gave me a huge discount, and I ended up paying €37,000 for it. Now that car now is worth about 23, 24,000 euros. Now that's 2.5 years later. So I've now lost 37 down to, let's say 23,000. So that's sort of 14,000 euros loss. So that's a liability. And of course I've had the cost of maintaining it, servicing it, insuring it, road taxing it. I mean, it hasn't needed any work or tyres or anything because it's not done particularly many miles. But that's a liability. That asset costs me money every single month. So I lose money on it. It's never going to go up. It's, you know, it's only going to go down in a couple more years' time. I'll probably get rid of it this year. But in a couple more years' time, it's probably going to be worth like 15, 16,000 euros. So it goes from 37,000, well, originally it was 43, 44,000. And it goes down to 16,000. So that is a liability. You put your money into it and it takes a hit and you lose money. If you buy something like a property, you obviously pay for the property. I know it's different values and stuff, but I'm just talking about an asset now. You buy the property, let's say you pay 150,000 for it 10 years ago. You rented it out for 10 years at, let's keep it round figures, 15,000 a year. You've now got your money back. So effectively that property stands you in nothing. And obviously you've had your tax out of that. So you have to pay tax and maintenance and things like that. But keeping it round figures, you basically had your money back. And the property from 10 years ago to now will probably be double. So it's now worth 300,000. Yeah, if you sell it, you've got capital gains tax and stuff like that to pay, which is part of life. People have to pay taxes, that's life. But what I'm saying is the property has earned money. You've lived off of that money for 10 years and you've obviously got an asset now that's gone up in value. Now that doesn't always work like that, and I'm not fixed and placed to give anyone financial advice. I'm just giving you how I see it. So basically the assets are obviously something that's going to earn you money and appreciate in value. So that's a great investment to buy a property, although boring. And you do need a car, but you don't need an expensive car. So all I'm trying to say is it's very, very important for people to understand assets versus liabilities. A lot of people will end up buying a property, like we just said. Let's say you rent it out. Okay, let's clear the slate and start again. You bought a £150,000 property 10 years ago. Let's say you rent it out for £1,000 a month. Out of your £1,000 a month, you could lease a car, and then the lease car, obviously it depreciates, but when you lease it, it doesn't really matter. And the property that you've bought will pay, the income that you get from your rental will pay your lease. So effectively, you're covering your liability with an asset, and eventually the property goes up in value as well. It's not a lesson on how to sort of suck eggs for people. I'm just sort of trying to explain the difference between an asset and liability, and that's exactly what that message was about that was sent to me yesterday or the day before, whenever it was. And I just thought I'd touch on that subject because obviously I like to talk about finances and bits and bobs and money, etc., and how to make money and little money saving tips, well, my ideas of money saving tips. And I just thought I'd touch on that quickly to sort of let people know the difference between an asset and a liability. If you go and buy a Louis Vuitton bag or a pair of, I don't know, Christian Louboutin shoes, you are going to lose money on it. You know, they're liabilities. Assets are things that go up in value or produce money. Like a business is basically an asset. A house generally is an asset. If you buy gold, generally it's an asset depending on the price. Cryptocurrency, generally long term, it should be an asset. You know, stocks and shares, generally long term and assets. If you have some savings, although you get interest on, you know, on your savings, you have to pay tax on that as well. But generally, as long as the interest is in front of inflation, savings can be an asset as well. Just a quick one today, guys. I will be back. I'll probably be doing a live Thursday night. Sorry, this is wobbling still. I'm still holding it with one hand up out in front of me. I'll probably be doing a live on Thursday night. I'm going to try and do a live with Paul in the very, very near future. I spoke to him yesterday, and he's saying let's do another live. But like I say, I've got friends here for a couple of days, so I'm going to be a bit quiet on YouTube. This one will be going out on Sunday. So there'll be 3 or 4 days without anything, and then I'll probably be doing a live on Thursday night. So make a note in your diary, and I will see you all then. Have a great weekend, everyone, and have a great week ahead. Speak to you soon.